I'm glad you joined us to craft together today. I hope you're having a wonderful summer and reading lots. This video is the first part of a three-part series on the Take and Make crafts, which can be picked up at the Dryden Southworth Library, the Lansing Community Library, and the Tompkins County Public Library. Today, we'll be working on making the ribbon sea animals. The envelope you picked up from the library will look like this. Inside of the envelope are 24 ribbons, 3 sticker tags, 2 wide and 1 narrow, and 3 cutouts, one for a stingray, one for an angelfish, and one for a jellyfish. So we're going to start with our angelfish. So we're going to take our angelfish cutout and a ribbon. It can be any color, doesn't matter. And then we're going to start from our nose and go from our nose to our tail. And these ribbons, they have a shiny side, which would be this side, and a duller side. If you want, you can make sure that they're all on the shiny side, and then your fish will look super shiny. So we're going to pick up our angelfish, and we're going to start by going through the second slot here, this one right here, and we're going to take our ribbon and we're going to poke it from the back to the front. It's going to come through like this. We have some on the back, and we have the rest of our ribbon on the front. Now we want to weave it and make like a checkerboard pattern. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend this ribbon piece through the next slot so that it goes to the back. And with the weaving pattern, it's alternating unders and overs. So here, our ribbon is under, and here it's over. So next, we got to make sure that our ribbon is under. So we want our ribbon to wrap underneath this bar. Now we got to go onto the bottom part of this fin, this bottom fin here. So there's 3 little slots, 1, 2, 3. We're going to take our ribbon here and poke it through to the back and give it a little pull so we get some more ribbon here. You get a wrinkle, just straighten it out. And then we're going to go from the back to the front through this slot. The ribbon might get a little stubborn here on these ones, but you can just poke it through, a little piece, and then pull that piece and the rest will come right on through. And for the last one, we start from the front and we go to the back. And there we go. Just give it a little pull. Might have a little bit hanging off the end here. But this is your end on the back. Make sure it's tucked in a little bit. And then you have a little trailing tail for your angelfish. Next, we're going to work on the body. So here, we're going to go through the first slot now. And we know that if this one is over, to make a checkerboard pattern, this purple ribbon has to go under this bar. So I'm just going to pull my bar up like this. See my fingers poking through? And then we can just slide our ribbon through and pinch it, and there we go. Our ribbon is now under the bar, that our other ribbon went over. So you can already see the checkerboard pattern starting. Now here, I'm just going to poke it under, and we're going to keep going on our pattern. So we have an under-over pattern. Now I'm going to take this end, let me tilt it up, and here we're going we went from the back to the front, now we're going from the front side to the back. And there we go, now we're at the back. Now if you want, you can just pull this down and straighten it out like we did the bottom one. But you can also give your angelfish a second little tail here, if you want him to look a little more tailed. And that's what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to pick another color, any color. I'm going to grab a light blue. And now we know that on this bar, we want our ribbon to be under. So we just pull that bar up like this. You can see I have it pulled up. And then I'm going to poke my ribbon underneath that bar. So now my ribbon lies underneath this bar. Pull it like this. And then I'm going to take this other end and I'm going to poke it from the front to the back. Now I'm on the back and I want to go to the other side. So now I'm going from the back to the front. Now we're going to keep doing this until we get to the end of our tail. So we're going to go from front to the back. And, oh, it already told me where it's going to go. It's going to go from the back to the front. So now we have an alternating under-over pattern. And if we scooch this down a little bit, just give it a little poke down, now you can see we have a little checkerboard. Now I'm going to do the same thing all the way up. And if you want, you can have your second tail here, or you can skip it and put it straight through, just like we did on this pale blue. So when your angelfish is done, it's going to look something like this. Now there's these two tails sticking out here. If you don't want them to stick out, then you can just flip it over. So this is a blue, so we're going to pull this blue one. Just going to pull it back. Same thing with the green. See? Now there are no extra tails here. Just give them a little tug so they're straight. And there's your angelfish. We're going to repeat the same process to do the jellyfish. We're just going to weave through, and then you can fold your ribbons over the top, or you can just cut them off at the top. In jellyfish, there's extra ribbons so that he has little legs hanging out the bottom. Now with the manta ray, we're going to do something special. There's these little dashes down the front side. We're going to take a ribbon, any color, and starting from the back side, we're going to poke our ribbon through the dashes that are horizontal. From the back to the front. And you can remember that the horizontal ones are the ones that go flat, that they're across, because the horizontal is the same direction as your horizon. It will always be flat and straight across. Now we're going to keep poking these through our slots. So we're going to go now in the front, so we're going to go from front to back. Might get a little stubborn on you. Just going to take our ribbon and slide a piece through. And then we can grab it from the other side and pull it the rest of the way. See? Now we're going to keep doing that all the way down. So we're going to go from back to front. And then from front to back. We're going to keep doing that all the way down. And then when we're done, it's going to look like it does on the top. I'm just going to pull it here now, so I get a little more slack. And now I'm going to keep pulling. I got another slack. Now I go on the back, so now I go from the back to the front. And now we're in the front, so you go from the front to the back. And now we go from the back to the front. And when we're done, we'll have woven our ribbon through the horizontal slats. So our manta ray faces, our stingray faces like this. So we've woven our ribbon through the horizontal slats. And now stingrays have a little tail on the end with a stinger, so we can just pull this down until our ribbon is at its end. Pull down like that. And now we're going to work on the horizontal ones. So you can pick any color. And then I'm going to start in the middle. We're going to put our ribbon, you can start on either side, on the outside or on the inside. And I want my ribbon to go underneath this. So I can tuck my ribbon underneath this main part, underneath his body, like this. And then I just weave it across from front to back, and then from back to front on both sides. So I tuck it under, and then I tuck it over, and then under, and then over. There. Now I can do the same on this side. Tuck it under, and then tuck it over, and under, under, and over. So the reason I went underneath on this first one, underneath the body here, is because I'm going to line this ribbon up with one of the parts where I went over on my ribbon that's facing up and down. This way, this part won't get covered up. Just going to straighten this so it's symmetric. And then I can take any other color. Let's do a pink. And now we're going to do the opposite thing. It'll make a checkerboard. We're going to poke it up from the bottom to the front. Give myself a little more slack here. It's kind of tight there. Now I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to poke him from the front to the back. And then I'm going to poke him from the back to the front. Going through the next slot, alternating from front to back to front. It looks like I got a little twist here. Just straighten it out in the way I want it to be, and then rub it a little bit back and forth until it's flat. A little pull. Straighten up my end. And then we take this end, a long one, and we tuck it from the front to the back. And then from the back to the front. And when we pull this flat, it should go right between two of your vertical ribbon. So now, this way, you can see the vertical ribbon going up and down. And then I'm going to go on the other side, I'm going to go from the front to the back, from the back to the front. And then I'm going to give it a little tug, and then I'm going to go from the front to the back, and from the back to the front. Now my last one here, give this a little tug, and then I'm going to stick it from the front to the back. This is a little more difficult. Just gotta poke a little end of the tail through, and then you can pull the rest. There we go. Now I'm going to keep doing this all the way up, and then from here, and then all the way down. When your stingray is finished, it'll look something like this. Now we have these thin sticker labels. They're about this size. And we're going to take the thin ones and we're going to peel off the backing. Should be a little edge. You can just peel off the backing like this. And then we're going to take this sticky piece, and you see our stingray, and we're going to stick it right on down the middle. This is the example. So we're going to stick it so that it goes over our green, or over this green ribbon here. It can be any color on yours. And it's going to hold on to that ribbon. And then all of the other ribbons pass through this area as well. So it's going to hold on to them too. And this way, your stingray's ribbons will all stay on him. And now that this is tacked on, if you want, you can take a sharp scissors and you can trim these ribbons. That way they won't hang off the ends. Or you can leave them long. Either way, it's going to make a beautiful stingray. And now we have finished our stingray, our jellyfish, and our angelfish. I think he looks a little bit like rainbow fish. It's a really good book. It's by Marcus Fisher. And our rainbow fish is going to learn to be friends with all the other fishes. And you're the one who's going to teach him how. These ribbon sea animals can be used as bookmarks in a favorite book. Where will we swim together today? Where will you go? Careful though when you read with the stingray. He's very hungry and he might try to eat your page. Better read fast. Feel free to share this video with your family and friends, and check out the other fun things to do in 4-H at sharethefair.org. A reader once said, "Reading is dreaming with open eyes." Happy reading and have a wonderful summer.